Mutiara Aisyah, saya dosen di Jurusan Ilmu Hubungan Internasional, Fakultas Ilmu Sosial dan Ilmu Politik, Universitas Sriwijaya. Video ini merupakan video pernyataan diri dosen dalam unjuk kerja Tridharma perguruan tinggi yang digunakan dalam pengajuan sertifikasi dosen gelombang 1 tahun 2023. Dalam kesempatan kali ini, saya akan menjelaskan terkait metode pengajaran pada mata kuliah yang saya ampu dengan metode DIA, Delivery, Instructions, and Assessment, pada mata kuliah diplomasi. Sebelum saya menjelaskan teknik pengajaran saya, terlebih dahulu saya akan menjelaskan terkait deskripsi mata kuliah yang saya ampu. Mata kuliah ini merupakan mata kuliah wajib dengan bobot SKS sebanyak 3 SKS, dan mata kuliah diplomasi dirancang bagi mahasiswa sarjana ilmu hubungan internasional, di mana pokok bahasan dalam mata kuliah ini antara lain terkait dengan dasar hukum pelaksanaan diplomasi, hubungan diplomatik oleh Kementerian Luar Negeri, seni dalam bernegosiasi, dan diplomasi modern bukan lagi dipandang sebagai sebuah aktivitas yang hanya dilakukan oleh agen diplomatik profesional, namun juga private persons dalam koridor arahan officials juga dapat menjadi penambah daya dalam transformasi konflik. Maka kajian diplomasi multi jalur menjadi salah satu pembahasan yang akan didalami dalam mata kuliah ini. Dan mata kuliah ini pun akan mengulas konsep branding propaganda yang ada pada diplomasi publik dan pentingnya diplomasi budaya dalam menunjang agenda utama atau kepentingan nasional sebuah negara. Seperti yang tampil pada layar berikut ini merupakan bahan-bahan kajian yang termuat di dalam mata kuliah. Adapun capaian mata kuliah dan luaran pada mata kuliah ini adalah yang pertama, menguasai isu-isu, aktor, dan proses dalam hubungan internasional, mampu menganalisis dinamika kebijakan luar negeri dan diplomasi, mampu mengaplikasikan prinsip-prinsip dasar dan teknik negosiasi dalam diplomasi, dan kemudian mampu menjelaskan dan memaparkan materi pendekatan terhadap studi diplomasi, mampu mengaplikasikan konsep dan teori diplomasi pada isu-isu hubungan internasional kontemporer, mampu mendefinisikan konsep hubungan diplomatik, politik luar negeri, organisasi internasional, dan mampu mengaplikasikan konsep dan teori diplomasi dalam kehidupan sehari-hari. Adapun tampilan dari capaian atau pengeluaran pada mata kuliah akan ditampilkan pada cuplikan berikut ini. Metode ataupun mode perkuliahan yang dilakukan selama satu semester. Dalam satu semester itu terdapat 16 kali pertemuan secara total, di mana 14 kali pertemuan merupakan pengajaran materi yang dilakukan secara pertemuan tatap muka, dan 2 kali pertemuannya adalah merupakan ujian tengah semester dan juga ujian akhir. Adapun berbagai referensi yang digunakan dalam mata kuliah ini akan ditampilkan pada slide berikut ini. Metode pembelajaran yang digunakan dalam teknik pembelajaran adalah menggunakan Focus Student Centered Learning, di mana ini adalah metode yang digunakan untuk meningkatkan interaksi di antara pengajar dan juga mahasiswa di dalam kelas. Dan dalam hal ini, metode ini juga akan menuntut mahasiswa untuk jauh lebih proaktif dan kemudian dapat belajar secara mandiri. Dan pun dalam perkuliahan nanti yang diterapkan secara umum, metodenya adalah ceramah, diskusi kelompok, dan juga tanya jawab. Nah, diharapkan dengan melakukan metode ini nanti akan terjadi komunikasi dua arah antara pengajar dan juga mahasiswa. Dan untuk beberapa pertemuan juga kami menerapkan metode case method atau metode pembelajaran berbasis pemecahan studi kasus yang nantinya akan ditampilkan dalam cuplikan pengajaran di akhir video. Kemudian, mahasiswa juga dapat mengakses absence, materi pembelajaran, dan juga mengumpulkan tugas melalui platform e-learning yang telah disediakan oleh kampus Universitas Sriwijaya. Selanjutnya, untuk sistem penilaian di awal perkuliahan pada saat pertemuan pertama, saya dan mahasiswa sudah membuat kontrak perkuliahan yang disetujui oleh kedua belah pihak. Di dalam kontrak tersebut terdapat sistem penilaian, di mana sistem penilaian ini juga dapat dilihat oleh mahasiswa di RPS yang sudah di-upload pada e-learning. Dan terakhir, sebagai bobot penilaian, dalam sistem penilaian itu sendiri terdiri dari pertama penilaian ujian tengah semester, proyek atau studi kasus, ujian akhir semester, dan juga tugas atau kuis seperti yang ditampilkan berikut ini. Harapannya dengan mengetahui sistem penilaian ini, mahasiswa bisa mengatur dirinya sendiri dan menetapkan target yang dicapainya. Dan berikut cuplikan video rekaman pembelajaran saya pada saat mengajar mata kuliah diplomasi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam sejahtera, namo buddhaya. Salam kebajikan. Teman-teman semua, terima kasih telah hadir mahasiswa hubungan internasional Ilmu Sosial dan Ilmu Politik Universitas Sriwijaya. Hari ini seperti biasa kita akan melanjutkan pertemuan kita karena minggu lalu sudah dijelaskan terkait dengan teman-teman diminta untuk menyiapkan paperwork, position paper, sama beberapa paperwork lainnya berkaitan dengan resolusi dari diskusi kita pada pagi hari ini. Okay. Goes to the questions and resolutions of the must answer. So this is question that need to be discussed and need to be answered during all the sessions of the discussions, also the debate session. So the first question is, how can UNHCR solve the problem of sexual gender-based violence experienced by refugees from the Russian invasions of the Ukraine? And second question, should the resolutions of the sexual gender-based violence be done by putting aside the political issues and national interests of each country? The third question, what is the best way for UNHCR with its mandate to ensure that states put aside their interest in military and political conflict to focus on the social problems experienced by the refugees? With what organization or institution can UNHCR cooperate and coordinate in solving this problem, and in what form is the cooperation? So ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado, we're going to start the debate. Now we move to the general speaker list. Ladies and gentlemen, if you wish to put your names of the country into the general speaker list, please raise your play card. Okay, thank you, French. You've been noticed by the chair. Please make it high. Okay, the ones that not being mentioned, please make it high and keep them high. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have 1 minute and a half seconds to speak. We would like to call the first speakers from the United States. From the France.
Hello, and thanks for the chance, Chairman. Recent invasion of Ukraine has been described as a crisis for sexual and gender-based violence. This invasion also has caused a serious humanitarian crisis. Millions of Ukrainians have fled their homes since the start of this conflict. For those who have suffered from such a crime, we must redouble our effort to increase the assistance offered for them. Our country has committed $100 million to finance and deliver essential humanitarian equipment to help the refugees from Ukraine. Our country also finance support UN humanitarian agency, including the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, the International Committee of the Red Cross, and the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies. Also, our country, France, is operating a special initiative for access to fundamental rights such as healthcare, transportation, accommodation, and education. This demonstrates French solidarity with the Ukrainian people and its local government bodies, civil societies, and business. Also, as a French delegation, we support the country in this.
Sorry, Mr. This is delegates from the front. Your time is left. So, ladies and gentlemen, is there any motions on the floor? Yes, we have a motion from United States.
We would like to propose a motion. The motion is the preventing and solving the gender-based violence on Ukrainian refugees.
How to prevent?
Yes.
The preventing and solving
the sexual gender-based violence.
Sexual gender-based violence in Ukraine. Okay. For how long?
Duration 10 minutes and individual speaking 1 minute.
10 minutes and one individual speaking. It's moderated caucus, right?
Yes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have motions talk about preventing and solving the sexual gender-based violence in Ukraine in 10 minute moderated cases and 1 minute each speaking time. If you are in favor to discuss about this motion, please raise your play card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The motion passed. Ladies and gentlemen, since the United States is the one who proposing the motion, so United States will be automatically become the first speakers of the sessions. Ladies and gentlemen, if you wish to discuss and having a debate within this session, please raise your play card. Germany, thank you. French, thank you. Belarus, thank you. Ukraine, thank you. Thailand, thank you. Brazil, thank you. Brunei, thank you. Is there other delegates? Spain, thank you. One more? We need more? Okay. Russia. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's call upon the first speakers in the stations of the moderated cases, United States. You may have the floor.
Thank you for the opportunity. As an independent country, the United States strongly opposes violence in any form, but against women and men, especially sexual violence against women that has been rooted for a long time. As Thomas Paine wrote in his Common Sense pamphlet, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. This is why we need to respond firmly to the issue of gender-based violence. Since Russia invaded Ukraine, countless people have been victimized. Gender-based violence is one of the most central things that often happens. About 8 million people have been displaced, fleeing their homes for countries such as Poland, Moldova, Hungary, and other neighboring European countries. An estimated 6 million people and internally displaced have been driven from their homes. The victim didn't look at the age from the younger, 4 years old, to the elderly, 80 years old. Displaced people in already vulnerable situation are at risk of gender-based violence and other forms of abuse. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any working paper that you would like to introduce within the session, please do so. And please not to send some message and memos to the chair if you would like to propose the working papers in the middle of the discussions. Ladies and gentlemen, we move to French.
Okay. Preventing and solving selflessness among Ukrainian refugees is essential in ensuring their protection and realizing their human rights. There are several steps that we need to be taken to address this issue. The first is ensure access to legal documentation, because many Ukrainian refugees lack legal documentation, which can make it difficult for them to access essential services and protect their rights. Governments and aid organizations must work together to ensure that refugees have access to legal documentation, including birth certificates, passport, and other forms of identification. And the second one is provide legal assistance, because legal assistance can be essential in helping refugees navigate complex legal systems and protect their rights. Governments and organizations should provide legal assistance to refugees to help them obtain legal documentation, access essential service, and advocate for their rights. And the third is address the root causes of settledness. Settledness among Ukrainian refugees is often the result of complex legal and political issues.
Thank you, Mrs. Distinguished delegates from the French. Your time is elapsed. Now we move to the Belarus.
Thank you for the opportunity. As many of you know, there has been an influx of Ukrainian refugees seeking shelter and protection from the conflict in their country. While we welcome them with open arms, we have noticed a disturbing trend of sexual and gender-based violence against these refugees, particularly women and children. This type of violence is unacceptable, and we as society need to take action to prevent and solve these crimes. We cannot allow our guests to suffer such injustice while they are under our care and protection. We need to make sure that our laws and policies protect all individuals regardless of their nationality, gender, or social status. To prevent and solve these crimes, we need to work together as a community. We need to educate ourselves and raise awareness about these issues. We need to provide training for law.
Thank you, Mr. Delegate from Belarus. Your time is elapsed. Ladies and gentlemen, the time for the moderator is elapsed too. So we move back to the general speaker list. We'd like to call upon United States. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds to speak.
Thank you. The United States has committed to welcoming 100,000 refugees from Ukraine, but there have been only about 1,932 refugees as of February last year. UNHCR is vital in helping affected victims. It is estimated that around 17.6 million people in Ukraine will need humanitarian assistance by 2023 due to the barrage of attacks by Russia, which caused many energy crises that disrupted public access to water, electricity, heating, health, education, and social protection. Many Ukrainians live in homes that have been damaged or in buildings unprepared for freezing temperatures that could lead to hypothermia. In resolving this problem, the United States is working with UNHCR to assist refugees victims, especially victims of gender-based violence. The United States has already a strategy in the National Action Plan on Women, Peace, and Security. The empowerment and protection of women and girls have become a central part. Women, Peace, and Security strategy recognizing the vast amount of untapped potential among the world's women and girls to identify and recommend and effectively implement solutions to the gender-based violence conflicts. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Chair from the United States. You will still have 15 seconds to speak. To who would like to yield your time?
Go back to the chair.
Yield to the chair. Ladies and gentlemen, is there any motions on the floor? Please raise your placard. Yes, Belarus. I thought that I would like to prepare to talk more about the working papers. Then I would like to prior the working paper introductions. If you wish, Belarus, you would like to propose the working paper? Or is there any delegates? Okay, from Ukraine. You would like to introduce the working paper?
Ukraine is introduced to the working paper 1.1.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have the introductions of the working paper 1.1. So, okay, 3 minutes of the explanations, and you may present your working paper. Is that being written? Is there any draft? Please submit it to the co-chair, and the co-chair will present it to the other delegates. Okay, it's already been here. Thank you. You may present the working papers 1.1. Ladies and gentlemen, please do make sure to analyze and also hear lots of comment and also argumentation set up by the committee. And also please do such offering such questions and objection perhaps to the resolutions presented by the from the delegates of the Ukraine and also Germany as the sponsors.
Okay, we're ready. Okay, so we are introducing about the working paper 1.1. So the signatories is France, Germany, Malaysia, Nigeria, Philippines, Poland, Singapore, Spain, Thailand, Ukraine, UK, and United States. So during Russian invasion on Ukraine, creating a high wave of Ukrainian refugees who is run to the nearest country for a safer life. Unfortunately, this massive refugees is out of hands from host country, and sexual and gender-based violence is happening, making the cry of Ukrainian refugees. So to that end, we propose that to respond to the lead of the handling of the Ukraine refugees, we are asking for the UNHCR make a high commission of the host country refugees to involve justice and protection of Ukraine refugees, and all form of decision making is taken in this high commission. Number two, while the host country refugees struggling to face the high wave of refugees, UNHCR take over the organizing of Ukraine refugees and make a team in a focus to help host country refugees. Number three, there is an accusation of Poland due to SGBV, social gender-based violence, since Poland is not giving a clear statement about accusation of SGBV on Ukraine refugees in Poland. We propose UNHCR ICG to take investigation of SGBV in Poland. Number four, for the fight of human rights and security, UNHCR UNSRC and UNSC for the justice and protection of Ukraine refugee, with time UNHCR and UNSC to stand with procedure and protection of Ukraine of the security to maintain Ukraine refugees safe. Number five, and we answering the cry and needs of Ukraine refugees, UNHCR with the WHO and UN Women for the Sustainable Humanitarian Aid with any stand of healing purpose of Ukraine for Ukraine refugees. Number three, a response for the Ukraine refugees is facing emergency of food during the SGBP situation. UNHCR ACCP, FACCP, and TACCP to help defense of food in refugees asylum.
Number 7, in major refugee hosting cities, the UNHCR, UNICEF, local authorities, and other partners have set up a New York network of Blue Dot safe space, protection, and support hubs. Blue Dot is a haven that offers referrals to medical professionals, schools, and other services of those in need. We emphasize to all conflicting countries not to bring conflict impacts into the Blue Dots area. Thank you.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished delegates, please, if you have any objections, perhaps that maybe it's contradict with your standpoint as your positions, please do so. Is there any comment or objections from the other teams or the other distinguished delegates? Do you think this is very safe for the sakes of your safety in your country? On the point of how they accusing that Poland is not really that committed to solve the problems on the issues. Brazil, you may speak in the session.
Thank you for the opportunity. I want to ask about the point of number 7.
Yes.
It is UNHCR with Germany IRC make Blue Dots area or safe zone to protect refugees from invasion and conflict purpose. I'm asking the Ukraine, can you guarantee that this Blue Dots area is really safe for the refugees? Is there any proof that this Blue Dots area can be really safe to the refugees itself? Thank you.
Thank you, distinguished delegates of the Brazil. Question is about the safety protections. When you provide this, what kinds of the control mechanism that you will need, that you would like to apply within these proposals? Yes, distinguished delegates of the Ukraine, you may answer the question, but it's not just limited to the Ukraine, but the other signatories and also the sponsor countries, you also may respond on these questions. Yes, delegates of the Ukraine.
Okay, thank you for the chair. Responding to the Brazil, that asking that the blue zone are safe for the Ukrainian refugees or not. This blue zone is focusing to not have a conflict in the area. So we emphasize to all conflicting countries not to bring conflict impacts to the blue dots area. So this area is really safe for the refugees.
All right. So, maybe is there any signatories countries want to add some information before we moving back to the Brazil? To complete the sentence, is all clear? Okay, well, Brazil, what's your response on this?
I want to ask another question then. Is there any specific law
about the Blue Dots area that makes like the Blue Dots area is like the safe zone for the refugees. No countries that can attack the Blue Dots area of the safe zone. Thank you.
Okay, distinguished ladies of the Ukraine, you may have.
Okay, thank you. For the response for the Brazil, this Blue Dots area, we are under for the International Court of Justice. We make sure that this policy is not interventing by another country. So we really emphasize that all countries must not come into Blue Dots area to bring any conflict. That if there are any conflict in the area, so we will make the court of justice to them, because this is a criminal of war. Thank you.
Countries? Well, seeing none, I thought that we have to vote for this. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, because there is no objection from the other delegates, so we come to the voting stations to come to the resolutions, and we think that we reached the final of the sessions of the discussions, because these working papers, there's no such questions and also objection from the other delegates. So we're assuming that all delegates are agree upon these resolutions, and we comes to the voting. All right. Belarus. Distinguished delegates of the Belarus. In favor or against the motions? Motions by voting the working paper 1.1 as the resolutions. In favor or against the motions?
In favor.
Thank you. One vote for in favor for the motions. Delegates of Brazil. In favor or against the motions?
In favor.
In favor. One vote. Now, Brunei Darussalam.
In favor.
In favor. Now, France.
In favor.
Thank you. Now, Germany.
In favor.
Thank you. Now, Ukraine. Russian Federations. Distinguished delegates of the Russian Federations.
Consider any few things the Russian Federation will in favor.
Thank you. Distinguished delegates of the Russian Federation in favor. Now, Singapore.
In favor.
In favor to the motions. Now, Spain.
In favor.
In favor to the motions. Now, Thailand.
In favor.
Thank you, Thailand. Now, distinguished delegates of the Ukraine.
Ukraine in favor with rights.
In favor with rights. Thank you. Now, United States.
In favor.
In favor. Now, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we have unanimous decisions that all distinguished delegates are agree upon the working paper 1.1 as the draft resolutions. And now we end up, we would like to end our sessions because we already reached the final agreement over the case of the sexual gender bias based violence under the committee of the UNHCR. Thank you very much for the cooperations, and we would like to continue our discussions for the next meetings on the next host. We would like to welcome Belarus. We would like to go to the Belarus to discuss more a lot about decisions in the next project. Thank you very much, all the distinguished delegates, and see you on the next turns of the on the next cycles rounds of the discussions. And hereby I declare the round of the discussions under United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees finally adjourned. Where is the cover? 3 times? Thank you everyone.